Mainstream marijuana is unveiling a new lifestyle that may not be the picture that you had in mind.
No, not at all. The industry has created a new type of tourism in Colorado. People not only wanting to experience legal pot, but also interested in seeing the grow operations. So tours, just like we see at breweries here, are booking up pretty fast. Marijuana-centric weddings, that's now a thing too, from pot leaves in bouquets and flowers to pot-infused dinner courses. In California, one company created a cannabis-infused wine. Right now, it's only available in that state.
Social networks and dating apps are being developed around people who use. There are even gyms and fitness centers for people who consume recreational marijuana and therefore want to socialize with others who do the same. And here in Massachusetts, we are already seeing a marijuana lifestyle emerge.
Our Doug Meehan found it's largely centered around food.
So what we're gonna make is, I'm just gonna make some chocolate ganache, which is a lot of fun.
Welcome to Ellen Brown's Cotuit Kitchen. To say this is not your average cooking segment would be an understatement.
It has like that earthy kind of smell to it.
It
so
does.
Yeah, different terpenes.
It's the terpenes.
There we go.
You see, this Cape Codder's ingredient of choice is marijuana.
So this is my grinder. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind up my cannabis.
Ellen believes we're entering an exciting place when it comes to edible marijuana products, and the Bay State can serve as an example of how to do it right.
We have the opportunity to be a leader in this industry.
This may be a new, and in some cases uncomfortable place for residents of Massachusetts, but not for Ellen. She worked in the medical marijuana industry in California, and while serving in the Air Force, she was assigned to help other servicemen and women make healthier, smarter lifestyle choices.
You see that shiny stuff on the cannabis?
Yep.
And those little resinous glands are what hold all of the medicinal properties, the chemical properties of the plants.
Today, she offers up seminars to those wanting to learn more about this controversial weed.
I found that those teachings from one-on-one counselings or creating curriculum for large-scale classes was very much transferable to cannabis.
So when she cooks up these adult treats, she does so from a place of education.
I got each one of these to about 10 milligrams each.
Ellen was more than eager to explain not only how to infuse marijuana into chocolates and candies,
There are so many variables when we're cooking with cannabis.
but she also showed how it can be carried in topicals, like these mini shea butter skin moisturizing pads.
It doesn't always have to be cookies and candies. You can use the cannabis leaves for juicing. So there's a wide variety of applicable things that this plant can be used to for overall health.
Or in some cases, it can also serve as the overall centerpiece of an entire dinner party.
We are the Mass Cannabis Chefs.
Joseph Nelson and Patrick Mulcahy host what they call private infused dinner parties on the South Shore. Ever since it became legal to give marijuana away back in December, they've held dinner parties like this twice a month.
Edibles have been blowing up all over the place, but then you add in the gourmet food aspect to it, and yeah, well, the rest is kind of history.
Tonight's menu is all based around hot peppers.
So we have a beef tartare featuring jalapenos. We have a yellow tomato gazpacho, which is featuring serrano peppers.
From the appetizer to the main course, all the way down to the dessert, which tonight was a lemon meringue pie with candied sweet peppers, all of it will have some element of cannabis in the cooking.
So depending on what we're using to actually infuse the food, that will depend on where we put it in, of course.
These chefs acknowledge that their extra ingredient will affect people differently based on one's tolerance, and they offer varied dosages to accommodate, shall we say, an individual's palate.
You don't taste the infusion. It's just an excellent meal that happens to have a product in it that I also enjoy.
Back on the Cape, Ellen approaches her edibles in the same way and believes whether you choose to partake is a personal choice. But if you do, she emphasizes the importance of personal responsibility and accountability.
If I'm making edibles, I'm not going to take that to like a 5-year-old's birthday party or something crazy. I'm going to take it to, you know, an adult occasion, or I'm going to make sure that when they are in my house that they're labeled.
So that's why Ellen says she's not going to make any edibles into gummy bears or other shapes that would possibly appeal to kids.
The Mass Cannabis Chefs at that dinner party tell us that the cannabis that they use in meals is always donated from their sponsors.